so excited and I just can't hide it. Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. If you love makeup as much as I do, then you are in the right place. My name is Kara and I am obsessed with makeup. For today's video, we are going to be trying out and testing the new Natasha Denona Pastel palette. But before we get started, I did want to say that I applied for SephoraSquad for the very first time. If you don't know what SephoraSquad is, it's basically a long-term contract with Sephora to basically be a beauty influencer for them. It's life-changing. It's something that it's only in my dreams that this would really happen. But I mean, the reason that I do content creating and these tutorials and reviews is because I want to help people learn how to do eyeshadow. I'm not perfect, and I'm trying to push out that you don't have to be perfect to do good eyeshadow. I just want to show people that if I can do makeup or if I can do something, so can you. Basically, part of the application process is for viewers to leave testimonials, basically to say why they think you would be a good candidate for SephoraSquad. So what I'm asking is if you could please, it would mean the world to me if you could please leave me a testimonial on why you maybe think I would be a good candidate for SephoraSquad. I would absolutely appreciate it. It would help boost my chances of being picked. I will leave the link down in the description box. It'll take you 2 minutes to fill out. You just gotta put your email and then write the testimonial, and that's it. So again, if you do, thank you so much. Thank you for watching this video. Thank you for following me. And let's get into the tutorial. Natasha Denona had released her new pastel palette on the 15th of the month. You can get this at Sephora, Natasha Denona's website, as well as Beautylish. It goes for $65. It's one of her midi palettes. This is the packaging that it comes in. I mean, how gorgeous is that? It's like a pinky cotton candy color going into, you know, a green, blue. Oh, this just looks so yummy to me. Here is the palette itself. It's exactly the same as the packaging. It has the nice pink going into the green, nice pastel spring Easter type vibes. And then on the back, you have these holes, which is very typical of her midi palettes. You can punch out your shadows and rearrange them however you would like. Here are all the beautiful shades. You got 15 shades. There is a new formula in here, which is a vibrant translucent multi-chrome that can be worn alone or as a top coat, which is this shade right here. So this palette is very Easter-like, gives you spring vibes. It's beautiful. I will say that you are not going to get depth with this palette. If you are going to go for like a smoky eye, you need some depth, you're going to have to dig into another palette. You're not going to get depth with this palette. So if that's the type of looks you always go for, this palette's probably not going to be for you. Now, normally pastel shades are very hard to keep on your eye, like the color. The opacity's not there. They blend away. They're usually really chalky. I can say about this palette, that is not the case whatsoever. Natasha Denona did an excellent job with this palette. So instead of me rambling, let me get you some swatches. The first shade we're gonna go into is Tool, which is a cream to powder matte bubblegum pink. Next you have Illusion, which is her duochrome sheer pink peach. And then Mint Frost, which is a sparkling metallic icy turquoise. Here they are on the fingers. Look at this shade. Oh, it's so beautiful. There are the first 3 shades. Next you have Bora, which is a cream to powder matte medium lilac. Then you have Dainty, which is a duochrome sparkling pink with golden champagne. The next is Brisk, which is a creamy matte pastel mint. Here are those shades. And we have Adriatic, and I'm probably butchering that name, but that's a duochrome bright turquoise and gold. Then we have Starlit, which is a duochrome coral pink with golden peach. And then Bellini, which is a creamy matte pastel peach. And here are those. Then we have Bubble, which is a cream to powder matte pastel cornflower. Limoncello, which is her matte or metallic icy pastel yellow. And Duet, which is a duochrome lilac teal. Here are those. So far, I'm loving these swatches. And the last 3 shades you have is Airy, which is a creamy matte pastel sky blue. Zest, which is a cream to powder matte pastel lime. And then Feather, which is a creamy matte pastel lavender pink. And there are all the swatches. Very beautiful. Let's get these eyes primed. I'm going to be using the ABH eye primer. Whenever using a pastel shadow on your lid, you want to go with a bright primer to help bring out the colors of the pastel. So I'm going to use ABH's eye primer. I zoomed in a little bit. I have my primer on. So the looks I'm going to go for today are going to be more wearable looks. If you've seen this palette on Natasha Denona's website or Instagram or anywhere, the looks she's created, although beautiful, are just not everyday looks. Like you can't, I mean, you could wear them out, but you can't. You know what I mean? So I'm going to try and create everyday looks, and both looks today are inspired. The first one is inspired by Morgan Turner. I will link her YouTube down below. Make sure to check her out. And then the second eye is going to be inspired by a look Natasha Denona had created that is more wearable. The first shade we're going to go into is Feather right here, and I'm going to use a fluffy brush. I'm going to start by putting that just in the inner corner of my crease. Now, when you first go in with this shade, it seems very light, but if you dip in for a second time, it definitely shows up very well. It has a lot of nice pigment to it. And I'm going to go into Bubble with the same brush, and I'm going to put that on the outer crease, blending into that first shade, and then I'm also going to put that like on the outer part of my lid. Now this shade you definitely need to build up if you want it a little bit darker, because at first time going in, it's going to be very sheer. I did turn my lights down a little bit so you can see the colors a little bit better, but the next shade I'm going to go into with a flat brush is Zest. I'm going to put that almost all over my lid. I'm going to put it basically on my lid, then stop where the blue meets. Now, if you have hooded eyes like I do, you'll want to come right, like instead of leaving it in your lid, because when you open your eyes, you're not going to see it. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to bring it up so it sits just right above that crease. So when you open your eyes, you can still see the yellow. Then I'm going to go back in with my fluffy brush. I'm going to go into Bora, and I'm just going to put a very little bit on the outer lid and outer crease. I'm going to take the shade Limoncello. I'm going to use a Sigma L04 brush because I'm going to use that for my inner corner. I'm also going to take the same shade on my finger, and I'm going to put that where the yellow meets that blue, so kind of right in the middle of my lid. For the lower lash line, I'm going to go back into Feather, and I'm going to run that across the entire lower lash line. And I'm not going to build it up. I'm just going to keep it very light down there. And I'm also going to put Feather back in the inner corner just to bring back that color a little bit more. And the same with Bubble. I'm just gonna put a little bit more on the outer corner. Bubble again, and I'm putting that on the lower lash line, but mainly towards the outer part of the lower lash line. And then taking Zest as well, and put that on the lower lash line, but more on the inner corner part of the lower lash line. Let me go do liner and lashes, and I'll show you the finished results. I am back, and here is the look. It is so pretty. Like I said, I got inspired by this one by Morgan Turner, which hers turned out so much better than mine did, but you know. So let's get started on the other eye. Now for my next look, like I said, it's inspired by a look by Natasha Denona. I'll put the picture right here of what I'm going for. Not saying that it's gonna look anything like it, but we're gonna try. First shade I'm gonna go into is Tool, and I'm gonna focus that on the outer corner of my crease and lid. Next I'm gonna go into Bora. I'm gonna use that on the outer corner as well, just to kind of intensify that first shade. And I'm also going to put that on my lower lash line, but just like on the outer corner of it. I'm going to take the shade Feather. I'm going to use that to blend out those first two shades. I'm also going to bring it down on my lower lash line to blend out the shades under there too. I'm going to take the shade Adretic, and I'm going to put that on my inner corner up into my inner lid and inner crease. I am also going to put it on my lower lash line, but just like on the inner part of my lower lash line. Now I'm going to take the shade Duet. I'm going to put that in the center of my lid where that green shadow meets the shadow over here. I'm going to take the shade Dainty. I am going to put that right basically in my crease right on top of that last shimmer shade that I just put down. I am also going to put it on the center of my lower lash line. Then I'm going to take my finger in Illusion, and I'm going to put that right in the center, right over top of the shimmer shades that I put down. All the way up to my crease. And then the last step, we're going to go into Airy. In that, we're just going to actually put like a little dot under the center of the eye. And that's it. I don't know if it looks the same, but let me go do liner and lashes and I'll show you the finished look, and then we'll compare and see if this look looks anything like the look by Natasha Denona. Okay, so here is the finished look, and I think it came out very pretty. Do I think that it resembles the picture? No. Let me show you. So here is mine, and here is the picture. It's close, but obviously you can't beat what Natasha Denona does, right? So I really love this palette. My eyelash is like coming off. Yeah, there are two different eyelashes, whatever. I really like this palette. This is my first pastels palette. I actually don't own any other pastels palette. And now like my expectations of pastel palettes are gonna be high, because if I go to pick up another pastel palette, I'm gonna expect it to have the pigment and opacity that this does, and it's you know, it probably won't. So this is a phenomenal palette. I am so happy that she came out with this. This is perfect for spring and Easter. You can get some creative looks, which I am gonna keep playing with this palette and see what other looks I can come up with. If you want another video on some more looks, let me know, because I just want to play with this palette more. So thank you guys so much for watching my video today. I will link everything down in the description box below, as well as, again, the SephoraSquad testimonial link. I will link that, this palette, everything else I'm wearing on my face. I really hope that you stayed with me through the entire video today, and I hope to see y'all again soon.